Okay, guys, we're at Halloween Havoc now. Managed to get through two pay-per-views last time, so I'm gonna really try and get through as many as we can here. Try and get through two more and leave Starrcade for itself. Halloween Havoc, October 29th, 2000. Elix Skipper versus Rey Mysterio to open the show up. And Rey Mysterio wins clean over Elix Skipper. The Wall versus Mike Awesome, and Awesome wins. Triple threat match. Hardcore, US, and Cruiserweight title all on the line in this match. Hardcore, US, and Cruiserweight title. It is Lance Storm versus Billy Kidman versus Crowbar with Daffney in his corner. Now, the way this goes down is Lance Storm has been consistently beating people in hardcore matches and defending the US title. Like one Thunder, he's defending the hardcore title. One Nitro, he's defending the US title. Sometimes it's a combo defense, but it's decided that whoever gets the pin in this match wins all three belts, and the winner of this match is Lance Storm, because he's doing it on pay-per-view again. Daffney distracts Billy Kidman, but she doesn't distract Lance Storm. He's got the half Boston Crab. The referee sees this, it's tapping out. She's like, ah! But yeah, that's a okay. Now here we go. And the theme with Halloween Havoc, WCW Tag Team Titles. First team to bleed loses, and that means the first person of that team to bleed loses. So it's a first blood match. Kronik versus Bryan Clark, taking on Kevin Nash and Diamond Dallas Page. DP bleeds. He's busted open, and it's like, again, another loss. They're like, damn. Luger versus Terry Funk, and Luger sort of goes off at Terry Funk backstage at one of the Nitros and says, "Hey, this is your fault. This new blood is we could have erased them from existence if we beat them at War Games, but no." No, you stuffed up, you old has-been, you, and Terry Funk just goes off at him too. And this leads to them feuding, and a lot of... the other thing I'd be doing is I'd have a lot of the other talent say, hey, don't underestimate Terry. I mean, you might beat him, but it's going to cost you, because that old man is crazy, sort of thing, so, yeah. Then we go, and guess what? Terry Funk actually beats Lex Luger. He actually beats him with like a roll up or something. Like he's got himself for the right, and he's sort of like, whoa, and Terry sort of rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. It's sort of like a fluke victory, and he bolts out there. And Lex is like, ah! Here we go, another New Blood versus WCW match. Booker T and Goldberg versus Jeff Jarrett and Buff Bagwell. Goldberg pins Jeff Jarrett. Okay, here we go. The last stand for Sting. Career versus title match. So essentially, this was actually one of the last appearances of Sting before the last Nitro. So I figured, why not do it? And why not have... I think they actually did do this. They had the Sting's career on the line, and Scotty Steiner sort of walks in, and he's doing does his thing, and Sting is not in the crow attire. He's in the one of his classic, it's an echo of his one of his early outfits, and he's sort of like, hey, this is how I came in, and this is how I want to go out, and yeah, so it actually does look like I would do it in a way that you would know that this was supposed to be Sting's last match, and essentially, yeah. The Steiner recliner, and he's out, and he passes out. He doesn't give up, but he passes out, and that's how we do that. Yeah, we can probably do Mayhem now as well. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, interesting thing we're going to do here. To open up the show. The way we're going to do this is a similar way to how Kurt Angle did his deal. When he won a whole bunch of belts. Lance decided, alright Lance, you claim to be the best. Well, I'm going to put you through like the boss sort of thing. Whoever the boss figures is going to put him through the ringer. Lance Storm is going to take on Chavo Guerrero first for the Cruiserweight title. And Guerrero manages to pin him with his DDT. I think he was using a tornado DDT at the time. Or you could do it with the Brain Buster, because he was using that as well. But whatever, after a distraction from Crowbar, that's how it works. So like, he sort of goes up on it. Actually, yeah, that's it. Crowbar's out there, and he's like, I'm going to get you next, don't you worry. Chavo gets up, kicks him in the gut, bang, down. Then we go Elix Skipper versus Lodi with Lenny Lane in his corner. It doesn't necessarily matter who wins that match. I'd have Elix win because, well, we haven't been doing anything with Lodi or Lenny Lane, so yeah. And I'd sort of start preparing Elix for a run at the Cruiserweight belt this time. Hardcore title, Lance Storm versus Crowbar. Crowbar wins after a DDT on a steel chair. Like, so Crowbar is sort of like made it his mission to win that hardcore belt, and he does. He uses his finisher on a steel chair, because I think he was using the DDT at the time too, so essentially that's what it is. And yeah, the Natural Born Thrillers, Mike Sanders, Mark Jindrack, and Sean O'Haire versus the new Triple Threat, Shane Douglas, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Chris Kanyon. Shane Douglas pins Jindrack. So like, the new Triple Threat sort of makes their debut, and the Natural Born Thrillers sort of want to crash the party. And that's them, and they sort of come stroll out, and they're like, yeah, we're the top dogs now, and we're sick of you amateurs and whatever. And they're like, hey, you just come along, man. You think you can beat us? Come along. But yeah, that's how it works. Also, US title, Lance Storm, and I'd have it be a mystery to who is it going to be? What guy, like, sort of like, he knew he was taking on Crowbar. He knew he was taking on Chavo Guerrero, but the US title, he had no idea. And he comes out, Lance comes out and says, hey, well, I guarantee I'm going to win this match, because there's no way anyone's going to come through me. Now, I may have lost round 1 and round 2, but I'm not losing round 3. This belt, it was the first belt I won here at WCW. I am not going to lose this. And Gene Okerlund says, hey, it could be anyone. It could be Goldberg. It could be anyone that comes out, because we don't know who is it going to be. And he comes out, and then out comes Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And Lance has been through the ringer, so there is a distinct possibility he could lose the US title, but he doesn't. He essentially beats him, but it's a hard-fought victory because Lance has gone through a hardcore match and what I'd also make a grueling cruiserweight match. So there's that. Storm wins. Here we go. 4 corners match for the match, and this one pinfall. It's a Kronik versus the Mamalukes versus the Perfect Event versus those dancing fools, Disco Inferno and Elix Wright. New champions, the Perfect Event, after they pin Big Vito. So, yes. Okay, 15-man battle royal for the #1 contendership at Starrcade. Mike Awesome, The Wall, Conan, Lex Luger, Rick Steiner, David Flair, Jeff Jarrett, Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T, Hugh Morris, Terry Funk, Buff Bagwell, Billy Kidman, Goldberg, and the returning Sid Vicious. Sid wins. So yeah, I'm doing that again, but I think the way I've structured it, it will work. Sid sort of comes out, canes everyone, just beats the hell out of everyone. Sort of like try and put him over, make him look like a valuable threat, and it does come down to him and Goldberg at the end. But it's just one of those things. Like I don't think Goldberg would be hurt if he just sort of goes like you throw him over the top rope, and I'd sort of do it in a way that it doesn't really hurt him. Okay, I got to really wrap this up. WCW World Title: Scott Steiner versus Kevin Nash. Scott Steiner wins with the Steiner recliner. That's simple. I'm not going to get too complicated with it because I imagine that Battle Royal would get pretty far out of hand. And I think having those two big guys at the end, it probably doesn't need to go that long. I would only do about 15 minutes, so I gather Kevin Nash can get away with that. Alright guys, I really got to wrap this up. So we'll be back with Starrcade 2000.